South Africa has taken over the presidency of G20 in a just concluded G20 summit held in Brazil 2024. In this video we will discuss the process that led to South Africa's presidency, member countries of the G20, South Africa's role as president of the G20, the African Union's membership, potential focus areas for South Africa as she assumed office, incorporation of the AU, defining the agenda and handing over. These and many more will be discussed. If you haven't subscribed yet, you are definitely missing a lot of update from Africa. Kindly hit the subscribe button to get our latest video whenever we make new post. South Africa's presidency of the G20 is a significant milestone, marking an opportunity for Africa's voice to be amplified on the global stage. The G20, representing about 85% of global GDP, 75% of international trade, and two-thirds of the world's population, is a critical platform for discussing and shaping international economic policies. Key highlights. 1. South Africa's role. As the only African country in the G20 prior to the African Union's AU inclusion, South Africa often served as a bridge for African concerns. Its presidency offers an opportunity to prioritize issues such as debt relief for developing nations, equitable vaccine distribution, and addressing the global energy transition. 2. The African Union's membership. The AU's membership in the G20 further strengthens the continent's collective representation, signaling a shift towards inclusivity in global governance. This inclusion underscores the growing recognition of Africa's importance in global economic and political matters. 3. Key members. The G20 includes major economies from every continent, such as the USA, Russia, China, India, and the EU, along with emerging economies like Brazil, Indonesia, and South Africa. This diversity fosters dialogue on issues ranging from economic growth and climate change to digital transformation and global security. 4. Incorporation of the AU. A landmark event during South Africa's leadership transition was the formal inclusion of the African Union as a permanent member of the G20 at the 2023 summit in New Delhi. This development bolstered Africa's representation and set the stage for South Africa to emphasize the continent's interests. 5. Defining the agenda. Ahead of its presidency, South Africa worked to define key focus areas, including global economic recovery, climate financing for developing countries, debt restructuring, trade and investment opportunities for Africa, food security. 6. Handing over. The presidency was formally handed over during the closing session of the 2024 G20 summit in Brazil. South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa likely outlined the country's vision for the upcoming year during this session. 7. Hosting key meetings. Throughout its presidency, South Africa will host preparatory meetings, working groups, ministerial meetings, and the G20 Leaders Summit. This is a critical moment for South Africa, as it has the opportunity to shape the global agenda while championing African interests on issues like economic justice, climate change, and sustainable development. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button, like and click the notification bell for more.